Breeze Nation, what is good? Welcome back to another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Got to keep the Bears conversation going, keep the Bears talk going as we got Caleb Williams fever here in Chicago, apparently, or at least it seems that the Chicago Bears do. In that similar article where Albert Breer was breaking down kind of, the Justin Fields timeline and where we see Justin Fields ending up, different things like that. He talked about how you got to read the tea leaves with some of the things that we're seeing from Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears here. He said the Bears had planned to bring USC Trojans quarterback Caleb Williams to Chicago for his top 30 visit Tuesday, fresh off the combine. Tomorrow, they wanted to bring him in here. They basically wanted to drive back to Indianapolis with him. That's what I got from that. That is extraordinarily early. Most teams don't even start with 30 visits until the end of March or beginning of April when pro days are wrapping. The idea was pretty simple. Chicago wanted to check some final boxes before finalizing its plan at quarterback before free agency starts next week. In the end, Williams and the team decided to move things around rather than shuttling the quarterback to and from California again in the midst of preparations for his March 20 pro day. The Bears will host Williams in Chicago shortly after that instead. So Caleb Williams will meet with the Bears a little bit later, but literally the Bears were like, we're driving back. How do you feel about the trunk?
There's room in the back.
We would love to put you in the back of the trunk.
Hey, is Poles driving a Rolls Royce? What do you think he's driving?
Nah, I think
Rolls Royce color.
He probably driving a Yukon.
Poles driving.
No,
he's driving it. He's done it. I think he's in a Toyota, like a Toyota
LX.
No, like a regular
whip.
He
pulled up in something nice in his intro video when he became GM.
I think
it was like a silver or something.
But it wasn't nothing crazy. Like it was just a nice looking car. I don't think it was nothing insane.
Hey, Poles, baby, you got it. When you making moves like that, you got to up the ante.
Hey, listen. You know what probably plays a big part in this, and this may be a side conversation, but I'm bringing it up anyway. Right? Well, look at that. I know what it is.
We got something, baby.
Hey, I got these cards, baby.
He might be showing a little bit.
I thought about you with that, Pat, about like he might have showed a card.
Might have showed a card or
the
two.
Fields thing, I was like, I was the first thing I
might
thought
have showed a card.
He might have showed one card. He showed one card flipped over.
Yeah, he might have showed a card or two with the whole Justin Fields situation. But here's the one thing that I'll say, right? Like Gilbert Arenas said this, and now I've gone back and done a little bit of research on it. For the most part, I think it's proven true. Ryan Poles does not wear a do-rag, clearly, because we can see kind of how the hair's going there. Caleb Williams, clearly, no do-rag. No do-rag on Caleb Williams either.
I mean, you got waves right there.
That's waves. A little bit. But look, had no do-rag at that combine. Had no do-rag at that combine.
Yeah, he wolfed.
Gilbert Arenas said, if you worried about waves, you're not good enough to be great.
Yep.
I started going through some of the winners in the NFL, and you look at that hair, it's not great.
Dang.
It's not great. I mean, Jordan just went simple. He said, take it all off.
Well, he was balding.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe.
That hairline was going further and further back. Hey, 02 Kobe had the hairline like right here, though. You gotta remember that. I don't know if he did that intentionally or not, but it didn't work out.
Hey, throw a little do-rag on there. Get the waves right, man. That's all I really want to see. But no, I honestly,
this man said do-rag.
Little do-rag, bro. Like no black businessman in power is rocking a do-rag at
You
night.
said it with such confidence and so serious. I didn't know if that was the joke you're using about to make the point, but that was the point.
That was the point.
Okay.
Yeah, think about somebody that's popping. They got waves. Like that's truly like the top of their game. That got waves.
The style has changed. Nobody wears Caesars anymore.
What you talking about? It's people that got waves all over the NBA. Paul George has 360 waves.
Paul George is good, though.
That's one.
Hey, Jason Tatum keep his head nicely trimmed.
Jason Tatum got 360 waves. How many championships he got?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's like three of them. That's true. Steph Curry ain't won a championship with waves. He
won
always
all
let
the
it grow
championships
up.
with the dog.
Wow.
I'm just saying. Hey,
you might
be great
something.
with waves is the question. No, anyway, in all serious, talking about the Caleb Williams situation and Ryan Poles looking to being very bullish on Caleb Williams, I believe, and maybe showing his hand a little bit here towards the end. Do you feel like the Bears wanting Caleb to come back for a workout that quickly has more to do with wanting to make a decision on Justin or the decision already being made on Caleb coming to Chicago?
Well, I think that with Ryan Post saying he doesn't want to leave Justin in the gray, and you kind of seeing reports of maybe Justin Fields being traded and where he could possibly go, his market and his value. I think he's trying to give Justin Fields some due diligence and some time if they trade him to go to the right place. We've talked about Atlanta before. And so, yeah, he wants to probably get ahead of this and get it done early. If you're going with Caleb, get those medicals out the way. Let's get this conversation over with. Let's see what we can get for Justin and move forward to give respect to Justin.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I think
great breakdown there, Joe. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Phenomenal breakdown.
Hey, wonderful value add. Wonderful value. I would say this though. Poles was in the room when they selected Patrick Mahomes. He was in the room when they traded up for Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. If you think that Poles doesn't have Andy Reid available to sit there and help with this evaluation, you're a fool. Poles just has a great reputation across the league. Yeah. He's very well connected, obviously. Most GMs are. It's time. Even if he's wrong, it's time. It's his guy. It's the first opportunity to get his guy. You have to ask yourself, would you be willing to let your career die on a QB you didn't pick?
No.
If it's the right QB.
Right now, you don't know if it is.
If it's the right QB.
The problem is if it is. He hasn't got to that point. But the problem, I think, all of it is because he got the number one pick. I think, like you said before, if we didn't have that number one pick, if we were like third, even if it was second, I don't think we probably end up standing pat. But now that we got that number one pick and you got a chance to get probably a premier talent at quarterback, because people, like everybody keeps saying he's either a bust, he's either great or generational, or he's a bust. People, it's just all conjecture. No one knows anything just yet. I mean, all it is that he won a Heisman. Now, did he have a regressed year? I know what I said personally. I'd rather keep building my team. Yeah. I said there's another Heisman winning quarterback in the draft, and I would try to get more picks. But if he's that much above everybody else,
watching more of his tape, I kind of get it. Yeah, because as a team pops up, you just go, "Oh, he put up 640 yards on them." Yeah, I mean, like you kind of, and then like when Alabama rolled in, you were like, "Oh, he came back down to earth a little bit." Yeah, I mean, like that's one game, right? Like he's had other games that were very good, but it's just I kind of get why there's a little bit of hesitancy with Jaden Daniels being a top 5 pick. Now, do I think he will be? Yeah, because I think I don't care about the skinny part.
He might get broke up.
I mean, you get in the
Muggs,
workout.
who cares about everybody cares about the skinny part until the dude comes in and cooks. You know what I mean? Like
that's the game.
Hey, I'm sorry.
But I mean, like, that was the knock on Deshaun Watson when Deshaun Watson won a national championship versus the best defense in the NFL. And Ryan Pace was like, or in college football, Ryan Pace was like, well, I got this young guy who pulled up.
By the way, Joe Burrow's not big. Like he's not like a bulk. Like, He's
that's a bad example.
Well, see,
that's a bad example.
Well, this is
he's been broken every year.
Lamar Jackson's not a big. It's a lot of QBs out there, but it's a lot of QBs out there that don't have this like imposing frame like Justin does, and they're doing just fine.
But this is the problem is that these type of talented guys, there's a reason they are the number one consensus type of player. The problem is they go to bad teams. They don't have the infrastructure. They don't have an offensive line. I mean, you look at Andrew Luck. You look at Sam Bradford didn't make it. Injuries. Like how many of these guys don't make it? Right? Yeah, well, he was. I think the Rams, right? Yeah. I mean, how many guys that get drafted number one? He
got to an NFC title game, though, right?
He got it. And my point, he's not in the league anymore. Stafford was getting beat up to a point, but he was carrying, the Lions. The issue is that like the Bears are actually in a better situation. They're actually not a 3-13 team or 2-11 team. They're in the middle. They kind of have enough to just get over the hump. And you have a gift getting possibly a number one pick. He has a potential to not necessarily get beat up coming to Chicago because they're one off season away from actually building their team.
Yeah. Now we'll see what it ends up being. I don't know what that noise was. The other fridge is off. So that scared the heck out of me. Getting used to a new studio, dog. I tell you that much. We've been in here how long? It could be the alcohol, Joe. It could be.
Let's go.
What's in your cup?
And then even if you trade back,
on who's sponsor.
even if you trade back to the one.
Yeah.
There's still Daniels. There's still the number 9. You're getting a QB and you're moving forward.
Yeah, everybody's high on Daniels. It seems like.
Hey, Daniels is a dog, bro.
He threw what? 43.
Had a good workout.
Was it 3,500 yards and 1,000 yards rushing?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
But what if they just doing all this because they really want to see what are the measurables, man? Like, is he like really 6'1"? Is he?
He is.
No, he is.
I think Sylvie said he is actually.
Everybody
Sylvie
confirmed.
and Waddle said he is. Waddle saw him this weekend.
Like, what are the Bears wanting him to come back for?
I think what's funny about that is, and that to me is draft season in a nutshell. Right?
Is his hands big enough? He's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like that to me is draft season in a nutshell. When Caleb Williams said, "I've never had anybody question my height and weight before," he was just like, I'm 6'1", 6'2". 200. Now, it's a big difference between 6'1" and 6'2". I don't care what nobody say. Most be like, what's the difference? An inch? Like, yeah, an inch could be. Can you see over the line or not?
Pause.
Hey,
I guess.
hey, listen. That's a flag. That's a flag.
Hey, listen.
I'm not gonna throw the flag.
What's the difference in an inch as a flag?
I'm not throwing it.
You
guys are too flag happy.
I'm ahead by a lot in the game, so I'm not throwing the flag. I'm ahead by a lot in the game. So. No, not that. Well,
okay.
Hey, look.
Okay. Hold up.
Take that for what you will.
Okay. Anyway.
But no, I think what's interesting about the whole situation with Caleb Williams right now is, like he said, you've seen the tape. You got 3 years of tape on this young man. You know what he brings to a football field. The measurables maybe is the question. I think the medicals are probably more so the question, but even that, we've had no questions on his medicals. He didn't lead a season injured. We had no questions on, like you kind of want to know, I guess, like the underlying stuff, like does he have some kind of sickness or something like that doesn't, like, I think if I'm not
a rare bone disease.
Justin Fields has epilepsy, right? Is it epilepsy?
Yeah, he has a form of it.
He has a form of epilepsy, right? Like, but it hasn't affected him since he was like,
he was a kid.
10. And remember when he got drafted, Muzz were like, well, what if he has a seizure on the field? And I was like, I saw Justin Fields get his ribs cracked on the field and he didn't have a seizure. I think he's going to be all right. Like, this is also the time of like making certain things up. The Bears have done enough of a deep dive on this to where they know what they believe and what they expect to see on Caleb's medicals. It's just getting the confirmation on that. And you do have to do that. And I know Ryan Poles is going to be a stickler with that because his first signing was what? Larry Ogunjobi. Yeah. He ended up not being able to sign him because of medicals. So you do got to know those certain things.
Shout out to my man Muck the General. I got to get the horn, like the salute horn.
You've taken such a weird attachment to Muck.
Muck, that's a cold name, dog.
Why?
I don't know. It's like
can you explain what
why? I don't. He needs to explain how he came up with that because it's like, how did you come up with Muck the General?
Joe,
sounds like a Wu-Tang name. That's why you like it.
That's what it is.
We also have to remember Joe comes from that era of Bills, the house on the hills. Everybody knows all fish have gills. You got to remember that as well. Let's keep this thing moving along, boys. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Show love. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Another topic that I thought was very interesting coming into today, right before we started the show. The Darnell Mooney news, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney apparently turning down a contract of up to $10 million a year.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
$10 million a year.
For how many years? What, 3 years?
Three-year deal. He basically would have got Nate Davis money. You know what I mean? Maybe you, as a wide receiver, you don't want left guard or right guard money, but $10 million a year. Did not have a great season. I believe 436 yards, 1 touchdown on the season. Definitely nothing great. And Big was writing about it. He said there's a cautionary tale here for Mooney as he turned down an extension that offered him from the Bears to start last season. As I understand, he had a 3-year deal for over $10 million a year. Now, there's still a market, according to them, for Darnell Mooney, but
that's that Kevin Garnett, like, it got bad real quick, yo.
It got bad quick.
Yo, that's bad, yo.
That's tough to hear, and it's sad to hear because you feel like now the season makes a little more sense.
Yep.
Why don't you go to him in that Detroit game? Why don't you utilize him more as the number 2 wide receiver? Why don't you get him involved in the offense more? Why is he Justin Fields' 3rd and 4th option in some of these games? Right? Like that's the part. No, he didn't Dennis Schroeder himself, dog. Like Dennis Schroeder turned down generational money. What was Dennis Schroeder deal? Wasn't it like
no, that was rumored. His agent supposedly never received that offer, and it was never formally presented.
Look, the Lakers said that man, what was it, 80
I think it was $19 million a year.
It was like $89 million for like 3 years.
I think it was like 78 for what?
If his agent received that offer and Dennis Schroeder, because Dennis said he never received it. If his agent received that offer and didn't present it to Dennis, he could sue his agent for that money.
Now, that was years ago.
Hey,
that was weeks ago.
That might be just being too trusting. That might just be being too trusting. I don't know about that one.
That's what he said. He said he never saw that offer.
It's realistically, it's a tough situation to hear from Darnell Mooney, and it makes so much sense on why they went and got Tyler Scott.
Yep.
It makes so much sense on why they look to move on to the next guy in the depth chart, in the rotation. Because the entire season, I just kept going. I was like, why is Tyler Scott the one running a streak down the left side in the Detroit game to try and get wider? Like this, it doesn't even make sense. Like Mooney's not that big of a threat that you couldn't use him in that moment.
Yeah.
Like it never made sense to me why they didn't utilize him. And now it's like, oh, politics. Oh, you didn't take the money. That means that you're probably not going to be a part of the future of this team. We feel like we drafted a young wide receiver that can replace you. We feel like we've got the next guy in what you could be. Sorry, thank you for playing the work version of our game. Enjoy your next team. Now, I fully expect him to go over like the 2 teams. Jeremy Fowler reported this on ESPN as well. The 2 teams that Darnell Mooney is getting interest from are the Chiefs and the Titans. Not going to be a tough decision on which one he wants to go with there. There's an offensive coordinator on one of those teams that was on the team the last time Darnell Mooney was a number 1 option and had over 1,000 yards, and now he doesn't have Mitch Trubisky throwing to him. He has Pat Mahomes. I don't think it's a tough. I don't think it's tough. And listen, guess what? You did play yourself. You played yourself. How much you getting signed for over there? What?
Probably 6. Yep, 6.
Yeah,
I mean, the next contract might be nice.
How old is he?
Darnell's young. Probably
26,
27.
He's still young.
Yeah, no,
that re-up gonna be nice if they make it back.
He's gonna be nice because I mean he's not really being challenged outside of Rashee Rice at the wide receiver position. Like he can really implement himself in that offense pretty quickly.
He's gonna get
Rashee Rice is definitely going to be the best receiver. He's already taking strides in this rookie year.
He's only 26 years old,
but he's gonna get a league minimum. It's not like he can just go all the way down. I mean, he's
not gonna get league minimum.
He's got 1,000 yards.
$6 million.
He got $3 million right now,
but he might get the same similar deal. But he's not going to get more.
He's not going to get 10 mil.
He might.
He's not going to get 10
I'm just saying.
You know who'll give him 10 mil? The Titans. You know what he's not going to do with the Titans? Win.
But Will Levis is over there.
Stop it.
How
many of them
he's
Will
not
Levis games you watch, bro? You
watched
watched
that
that one game where he could.
All of them.
Hey, did y'all see that?
He had some turnovers.
Y'all saw that Mike Evans re-signed for 2 years?
Yeah, that's a done deal.
Good re-sign for them.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Hey, all I can think, this tell you how ruined I am by meme and GIF culture. All I could see when because they said he wanted 25 mil for 2 years and he ended up signing for 52. I said Tampa Bay was like the LeBron video where he's like, you know what? Have 2 more. That's all I could think, bro. That's all I could think. So I shout out to him. Like that's an interesting one because who's playing quarterback? Maybe Baker. Maybe not Baker.
Sounds like they're gonna get Baker back.
They need to keep Baker. Baker cook.
I think they're gonna keep him.
It'll be interesting to see kind of because Baker's a name on the quarterback market that slows down Justin Fields, slows down the deal getting that. Baker's somebody that if he hits the market, you would probably not to take him. I don't know if you'd be a fool not to take him because there's other good quarterbacks on the market, right? We also got to talk about how much does a team have to hate you to take $85 million in dead cap money on? As Russell Wilson gets cut. That's how much the Denver Broncos are taking on.
Man.
$85 million in dead cap. Like I have to believe that you're the worst type of human being in my mind for $85 million.
You mean I'm telling you for nearly 100? Yeah. What?
Hey, bro.
That's a lot of dead cap.
You get to go home.
I need to understand this. How does that work? Is that spread out?
Well, there's a cap.
No, that's $85 million in dead cap next year. So they can't really sign nobody.
So they're like, let's tank for one season.
Well, they already high up. They pretty much tanked last year. So they like, well, we got a low draft pick anyway.
What are the ways around that? I need to do more homework. There's ways.
You draft a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, rookie contracts.
You drafting rookie contracts.
Yeah.
What are they?
So could they move up?
Which is kind of why the Bears are doing what they're probably doing. They don't want to pay that type of contract, especially when you're still building the squad out. You know, that's a lot of money to guarantee to someone, especially if you're not getting any results. Denver can't afford that type of contract.
Oh, well, he's not going to get I think Russ is on the I'm playing where I want to play at this point for however much I want to.
Well, yeah.
He on his OBJ. What OBJ get like
18?
No, but it was like he ended up getting from the Rams. What did he get that year? It was like
very little.
850K in Bitcoin or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Denver right now is sitting at 12. That's JJ McCarthy range. That's JJ McCarthy range.
It is.
I mean, he could go in the top 10.
Could be, but I mean, like I think that when you talk about it, right, like they know what they knew they were going rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
They knew they weren't making a deal or trading it, so they had no problem.
They like
with that.
Stidham.
Would you take now? We've seen this scenario thrown out there a couple of times. I just bring it to the show because I like to attack all angles of Bears fans. I know that there's some people that like to entertain the mindset of bringing Russell Wilson in to be the quarterback for one season.
Take my idea. That was mine. And everybody tried to cook me in the chat.
I'm still about to cook you, but I just
you stand in front of that for me.
Bringing Russell Wilson in for 1 year so that Caleb Williams can sit and learn. Oops, sorry.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
What's going on here? There's so much on this.
So I did.
Joe once said this.
I did say this with
Joe said with that.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I said this in the group chat. All right, pass. Right, but I will say this: there is a scenario in which that would make sense, but not with Caleb. Them trading back, getting this haul that everyone keeps talking about, doing all of that, and then maybe going to hometown kid JJ McCarthy.
Yeah,
I would do that with JJ. I would make JJ sit for Russ for 1 year.
I think if you ended up going that far back to get a quarterback, yes, that makes more sense. For Caleb Williams, it makes no sense. Like I know that people have entertained that and said, maybe Ryan Poles does that because that's where Ryan Poles came from. Andy Reid had Alex Smith in place before Pat Mahomes, and you're also not bringing Russ into a situation that is brand new.
Yep.
He's been in Shane Waldron's system. He knows how Shane Waldron's system runs. He played well in Shane Waldron's system, and all of a sudden Shane got Russ to do something magical, which is throw over the middle of the field. Yeah, I mean, Russ is not somebody that attacks the middle of the field like that. So I guess from that perspective, I could see it, but it's like if you draft a quarterback number 1 overall and then tell him sit a year.
Yeah, no,
you better go to the playoffs.
I was being stupid when I said that.
But
a JJ McCarthy,
you do the trade for the Hall, get Jaden Daniels, like Jaden Daniels sit, and
he did a black quarterback instead of a white one.
That's all I was saying.
Oh no, you can't do that with Jaden. Oh, Jaden's a starter.
I'm just saying.
My
point was theoretically, this is also a very unique situation.
Yeah.
You're talking about getting a Super Bowl starting quarterback that you only got to pay him $1.2 million a year, and he can get to revive his career in Chicago and then go off somewhere else. If you can sell it, that was just a very small, minute, pie in the sky type of thought. Other than that, no, you take the guy number 1 or top whatever you start him. But it would have been very interesting if you did that, especially because he knows the system,
and especially because the best, one of the most accurate QBs in this draft is injury prone. Michael Penix.
Penix had a really good combine. Yeah.
Penix is a dog. Nice I like Jaden because he has a more complete package of body of work. But Penix is a dog.
I mean, Penix got 4 years.
He cracked his 2 knees. And then he got his ribs.
Got 2 shoulders.
He got ribs, whatever it was.
And he hurt his knee.
Did we ever hear what the injury was during that game? All of a sudden, he just had a pad on.
No, he broke his ribs. Got cracked.
Did he crack them?
Didn't they have to carry him off the game?
Yeah.
That was
like
a rib game.
He's probably like
carried off in the loss is tough.
Yeah.
Cracked my ribs and we lost the game. That's crazy.
Jeez.
Here's a name that's interesting that's hitting the market. I thought that free agency wise maybe you could look at. Christian Wilkins.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Christian
yes,
Wilkins.
and yes.
Not getting franchise tagged. Joel, that could be the big money man in the middle that you like.
Y'all gonna run.
No, I was with it, but the problem is I think they believe in Dexter and Pickens. I don't think they're going in that direction to sign a 3 technique.
Hey, I believe in everybody till somebody better show up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that better. There's a lot of defensive ends out there.
I believe in Justin Fields right now, but if Caleb Williams come out the first 4 weeks and he got 12 touchdowns passing, I'm gonna be like, well, I was wrong.
Nice
You know what I mean?
knowing you.
Like,
That's a fact.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Christian Wilkins is an interesting name.
Because how old is he? 26?
Yeah, he's
no,
coming off of his best sack season too. I
that's-
think nine sacks.
that's
But
Yeah,
coming into a 4-3, I don't need you to be a 9-sack guy. I need you to be a guy that we can continually hear about pushing the pocket.
But I think he
can do that
for what they want. I mean, but that type of defense with the cover 2, it's those quick. You want quick twitch. Like, is he a 3-4 as a nose tackle? I mean, you kind of like you take on 2 linemen to a degree versus you're shooting a gap in that cover 2 defense.
Well, we got Billings for that.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got Bill as well in there, and it's a one gap system. He's not worried about where to go. He's just got to go one direction. So yeah, I mean that's the thing that makes it a lot easier. You know what I mean?
Birdman 24K. Trade number 1 for Dallas for Micah Parsons. F it.
And Tyreek Stevenson plays quarterback.
Time out.
Tyreek Stevenson plays
Oh
quarterback.
my God, Tyreek Stevenson.
Hold on a second.
Quarterback.
Because
Don't you say that's a good idea.
Wait a
Don't
minute.
you say that's a good idea.
Y'all ready for it? It's a good idea. You want to know why? Because old Jerry Jones there is not in on that.
I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Show love to another episode of the Windy City.
I just want to have as much faith in Justin as intro music has. So.
Let's go into our best and worst of the weekend,
Listen.
boys. Let's keep this thing. Appreciate y'all.